Hi, I'm Jorge Antonio Vallejos, and you're watching BlackCoffeePoet.com and the Black Coffee Poet YouTube channel. I am the Black Coffee Poet. Thanks for joining me here today. I'm going to be talking about why I keep a journal, and there's 7 reasons. And this vlog is a follow-up to my article, 7 reasons why I keep a journal, on BlackCoffeePoet.com. So it originally started out of discipline, just to write, to have a place to write, to keep my thoughts on paper. So number one is to write. I'm not one of these people that say I write when I have time or I write when I'm inspired. No, I'm a writer, a real writer. I write every day. Number two, to work things out. Keeping a journal helps me work out what's going on in my head, what's going on in my life, my ideas, my feelings, my thoughts. I get them on paper. I've got a friend who's a fellow writer, Chris, and he says that when he writes in his journal, he never thinks about that thing again. A problem that he has, boom, he works it out. It's on paper. It's gone. It's a release. So that's what I like to say. Journaling can be a release sometimes. It's like exhaling on paper, and you get it all out. Number three, to do writing exercises. I don't just write off the top of the dome. That is a lot of stuff I do. Well, that's actually one writing exercise called free writing. I don't always write about problems or ideas. There's specific writing exercises that I do. I'll do a vlog about those later. But for one example is I write in coffee shops a lot. I am the black coffee poet. I drink black coffee and I write. I watch people. I describe them, what they're wearing, what they're saying, how they smell, the coffee shop itself. I'm writing about the hum of the coffee grinder, the smell of the coffee, the arguments people might be having, the decor of the place. Or I'm looking outside of the coffee shop when I sit at the window and I'm people watching and seeing cars and bikes and everything and people walking. I describe. That's one exercise that I do. So my journal is about using it for also writing exercises. Number four, to fertilize a poem. Sometimes poems come out of my journal, not purposely. Like I said, I just write about whatever sometimes. But sometimes there's material in there that I've written. I'm like, this could be a poem. And an example of that is a poem called Les Da Verguenza, which means aren't they ashamed? It's a poem about my aunt and my mom, who are both women of color who identify as Latina. And my mom was a waitress for 25 years, and my aunt was a worker in a hotel. She was a cleaner. And so they were talking about their experiences, the hard work, the racism, the oppression that happened. And I was just watching them talk about this one day at the table, and I'm sitting on the couch listening to them. And I wrote a poem, and it came out of that. And then I showed the poem to a fellow poet, and he was like, there's something missing. So I went back to my journal and wrote what was missing. And eventually that poem got published here in Our Times magazine. It's a labor magazine out of Canada. And the poem is called Les Da Verguenza. I've got a video of it, and I'll put the link to that video under this video. Also, to plan an article. That's number five, to plan an article. I write articles for different publications, not only for my website, but for professional journalism. And sometimes when I'm working on an article, I'm planning it out. I'm thinking, okay, what do I want to say in this article? What do I do? Like, what are the points I want to make? Why am I writing this? And so, for example, I wrote a very controversial article years ago called Are Aboriginal Women and Women of Color Benchwarmers? That came out of privileged information that I got about activist groups tokenizing indigenous peoples, but also using indigenous women as backups. They'd get these light-skinned indigenous men or white-skinned indigenous men to be speakers who are these popular guys and stuff like that. And then they'd have these women of color who are indigenous as a backup. So they used one of my mentors, Lee Miracle, as a backup. It was right in the meeting minutes, and the person that gave me the information was part of this meeting. So this is fucked up. They're using Lee as like a backup. Like, Lee should be on the forefront, which of course I agree. So I wrote that article, Are Aboriginal Women and Women of Color Benchwarmers? But before I wrote it, I was like, should I write this or not? And the or not, I figured out, fuck that, I'm writing this for sure. And then it got published in Canadian Dimensions. And if you read the actual article that this vlog is a companion to, you will find a link to that article. It's a very good one, actually. I'm very proud of it. But Canadian Dimensions magazine edited it very poorly. But it was well read, so that's the point. Number six, to record life experiences for possible memoir essays. I love writing about my life experiences just for personal memory, but again, sometimes things come out of that. essays. So there's something called the Bannock Teaching that I wrote, and it's about Lee Miracle, again the person I just mentioned, who's a mentor of mine, one of my writing mentors, Daniel Heath Justice, Marilyn Dumont, Simon Ortiz, and Lee Miracle are my writing mentors. Thank you to all four of those people. Anyway, so Lee taught me how to make bannock in the kitchen of First Nations house. After we finished making it and eating it, I ran to the seminar room and I recorded the whole experience. Months later, I see a call for essays about food or poetry about food for an anthology called Crave It. I wrote it, submitted it, and it got published. It's called The Bannock Teaching. I'm really proud of it. So the link for that video will be under this video also, and you can hear me read it. The Bannock Teaching. So last but not least, number 7 is I keep a journal to challenge myself and to record my falls and my growth as a person, as a human. Lots of us, most of us experience the good, the bad, and the ugly. Many times in my life, I am the good or the bad or the ugly. So I write about that. And I figure my life out, you know what I mean? It's different than the working things out. This is like actually like really getting deep. Like the working things out that I said in number 3 can be anything. But number 7 is really about my life. What's going on? Questioning myself. Like, where the fuck am I going? What the fuck am I doing? Why the fuck did I do that? And stuff like that. And really looking at myself and looking at the dirty that's inside, the ugliness that is part of me sometimes as a human being on this planet. So those are my 7 reasons. Again, you can check out the actual article, which the link to that will be under this. And yeah, that's 7 reasons why I journal. And I actually published one of my journal entries called Remembering Rich, One of the Good Guys, about a friend who passed on, who I'm actually going to his funeral tomorrow. So you can check that out. That's on the website as well. Remembering Rich, One of the Good Guys. And also there's a letter to Wendy Babcock, a sex work activist who was just such an important person. And I wrote that letter to her in my journal. And then I actually published it on my website and read it at her memorial. So a journal can be used for so many things. I really advise that you keep a journal, not just as a writer, just as a human, as a person. You know, it helps you in life. Thank you very much for being with me, for watching this vlog. Please check out the website. Please subscribe to blackcoffeepoet.com and the Black Coffee Poet YouTube channel. Spread it, share it, tweet it, read it, watch it. Thank you, and get writing. Peace out.